Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we're making what I consider to be one of Spain's best kept stew recipes, as it's a dish that you can only find at the beautiful restaurant La Taberna La Montillana, which is located in the city of Cordoba. This dish is basically a chickpea stew that's souped up with all the fixings, and then it's finished off with some cod fritters that truly takes this to the next level of goodness. Folks, we're talking an insane amount of flavors, very easy to make, and all done in about 40 minutes. Alright, let's begin by filling a saucepan with some water. You want to go to about the halfway point. Then we'll season generously with sea salt and heat it with a high heat. Once the water comes to a boil, I'm going to add in an 8-ounce fillet of cod, which is 225 grams, and lower the fire to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this between 6 to 7 minutes or until the fish is just cooked through. The fillet of cod I'm using I bought frozen and thawed out, but you can also use the fresh stuff here. Once the cod is just cooked through, once again between 6 to 7 minutes, we'll remove it from the heat and drain it into a colander. For the next step, let's start cooking up our stew. I'm going to heat a stock pot with a medium heat and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. While the oil is heating, I'm going to finely chop 1 small onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, thinly slice 1 celery stick, and cut 2 carrots that have been peeled, each into small bite-sized pieces. Then we'll add the chopped vegetables into the stock pot, and we'll give them a mix. That way they're all coated in the olive oil. And as you know, I always like to mix this around continuously, that way everything evenly sautés. After 3 to 4 minutes, and the veggies are lightly sautéed, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams, and half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1.5 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way those spices are evenly coating the vegetables. As always, the Spanish paprika I'm using is from Kiva. Link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 120 grams. As always, I made my sauce by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, or even passata. And we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a few minutes. After about 3 minutes, and the tomato sauce has slightly thickened, it's time to add in the chickpeas. I'm going to drain 2 cans of chickpeas into a colander, rinse them under some water, and then add them into the stock pot. The size of the cans that I'm using are 15.5 ounces, which is about 440 grams each. We'll also add in 3 cups of vegetable broth, which is 720 milliliters. You can also use chicken broth here, or even beef broth if you like. Pinch in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. Link where you can get the golden saffron I'm using in the description box below. And 1 bay leaf. Then we'll turn it up to a high heat and give it a gentle mix. Once it comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the stock pot and lower the fire to a low-medium heat, and we're going to simmer this for about 20 minutes, that way all the flavors can develop. In the meantime, let's make our delicious cod fritters. I'm going to add in half a cup of all-purpose flour into a large bowl, which is 60 grams, and make a well in the middle. Then we'll crack in 1 large egg and give it a whisk. And then add in 1/3 cup of beer, which is 90 milliliters, and whisk it all together until you end up with a beautiful creamy batter. You can substitute the beer for either club soda or even sparkling water. Once we end up with a creamy batter, I'm going to add in 1 small onion that's been finely chopped, 2 cloves of garlic that have been finely chopped, 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, which is about 8 grams, and season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together. Then we'll move back to the cod fillet that we boiled earlier. I'm going to roughly chop it. Add it into the batter. And give it one final mix until everything's well mixed together. For the final step, let's start cooking up the fritters. I'm going to heat a large fry pan with a medium heat. And add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. After a couple minutes, and the oil is nice and hot, we'll start adding in small spoonfuls of the batter. You want to make sure that all the fritters are evenly spaced out and in a single layer. And we're going to go for about 3 minutes per side here, until those fritters are golden fried all around. And as you finish the fritters, transfer them into a dish with some paper towels. Okay, let's move back to the stew. After simmering it for about 20 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid. Add in a handful of spinach. I'm using fresh bagged spinach, but you can also use frozen spinach here. And we'll give it a mix until the spinach is lightly wilted, which just takes between 15 to 20 seconds. Then we'll remove the stock pot from the heat. Transfer some of the stew into a shallow bowl. Top it off with some of the cod fritters. And some fresh parsley. Check it out, our potaje de garbanzos con bacalao is done. A beautiful dish from the restaurant Taberna La Montillana in the city of Córdoba. Gorgeous presentation, so easy to make, and all done in about 40 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. As always, folks, now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see how this tastes. Hopefully as good as it looks. Here we go. It is absolutely delicious. Mind-blowing delicious. There are so many different layers of flavors to this dish, and those cod fritters taking it to another level with their beautiful textures and flavors. Folks, give this a try at home. Serve it next to a crunchy baguette, and of course a bottle of Spanish red wine, but more specifically from the region of La Rioja, you're gonna have yourself one heck of a fabulous meal. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin Giddings, Aravinda Garimea, Robert Manahan, and Hollis Helmichi. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way we can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.